Hello traders, today we're taking a look at a tool that can only be found on thinkorswim charts. It's known as the market forecast indicator, and some short-term traders use it to identify what turns out to be a pretty rare entry signal on a stock. So let's get acquainted with the indicator and discuss how it might be used to identify signals. So let's go to the desktop here, but of course the first thing that we need to do is make sure that we're aware of the risks associated with trading and investing, so bear this important information in mind. All corporate or issuer names and market data shown are for illustrated purposes only and are not a recommendation, offer to sell, or a solicitation of an offer to buy any security. Schwab does not recommend the use of technical analysis as a sole means of investment research, and there's no guarantee that a stock execution of a stop order will be at or near the stop price. And finally, investing involves risks, including the loss of principal. So let's get into this introduction to something known as the market forecast indicator or tool on thinkorswim desktop. So here we are on the thinkorswim desktop paper money platform, and I'm going to go right up to the little flask icon that gives us access to all of the technical tools available on thinkorswim. And let's just type in the word market for market forecast, and you can see right down here is going to be that market forecast tool. And if you're looking for this elsewhere, you're not going to find it. It is a proprietary tool found only on thinkorswim. So let's add that to our charts. And I'm going to click Apply and click OK. Now, an initial exposure to the market forecast tool might be a little bit intimidating. It actually consists of 3 momentum oscillators intended to represent momentum over 3 different time frames. One is very quick. It's actually known as the momentum indicator, and that is the red line here that reverses course very quickly, very short-term shifts in momentum. Then we have the blue near-term line, a little bit slower than the momentum line, but still gauging momentum over a little bit longer period. And finally, we have the green intermediate line. Now, I'm not going to get into the specific construction of these indicators, but suffice it to say they're effectively shorter to intermediate term stochastic oscillators. And for some traders, they use this in the planning and placing of short-term trades. And there's one signal that seems to be the one that's most commonly used by traders using the market forecast tool. It's known as a cluster. So I have some examples of recent clusters on Amazon. So let me load up a drawing set here. There we go. And what we'll see is that over the course of the last 12 months, we've seen precisely 2 of these what we call clusters on Amazon. That's fairly representative of what a trader might expect, maybe 1 or 2 of these signals per year. But a cluster is identified when we see all 3 of those stochastic lines, those momentum indicators, dropping into what we might call the oversold range or below 20 at the same time, literally on the same day. Now we can confirm that. What you'll notice here is I have a blue oval around an apparent cluster back here in April, but we can confirm this numerically by pointing at that and looking at the values of our momentum lines right up here. So if I point at that day, you can see the red line was at 15, the blue line was at 11, and the green line was at 13. So all of our momentum oscillators clustering below 20 in that oversold range at the same moment. For some, they might interpret this as, well, there's nowhere for the stock to go but up. Obviously, that's not going to be universally true. Stocks can go down despite our best efforts with our charting. But in this case, that market forecast cluster did a pretty fair job of anticipating a potential significant reversal point on price. Now, a trader taking that entry may look just to get out at previous highs. Clusters will almost always happen below recent highs. So using that previous high could be one potential target for exit. Or another exit approach is to follow the green intermediate line. And if it rises up above 80, that may signal that the price has already run substantially, time to take profits if those profits have been achieved. Now, not every market forecast cluster is going to work perfectly. So some traders might look to recent lows, and if it happens to coincide with that low, they might give it a percentage point or 2 of wiggle room and place a stop below that if a stop is being used. But that's your quick introduction to the market forecast cluster. We can see that we've had another one here recently on Amazon. This is a story yet to be told. We're off to a pretty good start. We'll see if that pans out from here. But these sorts of technical indicators is what I discuss on a regular basis in a Friday YouTube series that's called Advanced Charting Techniques. So I'm going to give you an invitation here to join me in that webcast series. So to find that, first of all, make sure that you have subscribed to Trader Talk's Schwab Coaching Webcast. That's a YouTube channel on or for the Schwab Coaching team. And I have a regular webcast series that you can join live right here, or you can find the previous episodes via the playlists right here. Let me show you where that's found. This is a Friday webcast series. I kick things off promptly at 1 o'clock Eastern time. If you can't make the live presentation though, you're certainly invited to view the playlist. So let me go to the playlists. And if we scroll down, we have a lot of different YouTube series from Schwab Education. Mine happens to be archived right here toward the middle. There's the Advanced Charting Techniques. And if I click on View Full Playlist, I can find previous webcasts. All right. One other thing that I'd like to show you here is that if you have a topic of particular interest, such as learning more about the market forecast tool, just do a quick keyword search to look through our archives, and you'll find those discussions. So let me scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see how to trade stocks with the market forecast indicator. This was an entire 45-minute webcast dedicated to just this indicator and exploring it in greater detail. All right, so with that, I'm going to turn you loose. I'll give you a quick invitation as well to follow me on social media. You can find me on X at Cameron May CS is my handle there. I'm very active on X, and if you reply to one of my posts, I'll try to reply right back to you. You can also follow me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Cameron May CS. But thanks for giving me the time today. I will be bringing you more of these tools and techniques in future videos, so keep your eye on the channel. But whenever I see you again, until that moment arrives, I want to wish you the very best of luck. Happy trading. Bye-bye.